People have always been enamored with the idea of East versus West. We have Eastern culture and Western culture. There was East Germany and West Germany. Then there were even East Coast rappers and West Coast rappers. So today, I wanted to take a look at the east side of Strongsville versus the west side of Strongsville by the numbers to see what the differences really are between them. And being that I'm a realtor, the main numbers that I'll be looking at are all real estate related. My name's Caleb Barney, and I'm a realtor with Russell Real Estate. And as I mentioned, what I want to look at today is Strongsville, Ohio. That's what I want to focus on. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Strongsville is a suburb of Cleveland. Depending on where you're going, it's about a half-hour drive away. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually using our local MLS to show each area by zip code. And you can see here that Strongsville is essentially divided in half by State Route 42. On the east side, you have 44136, and on the west side, you have 44149. It does jog a little bit. I've already commented and made gripes about weird zip code lines previously, so I won't get into that today. But yeah, essentially, we have the east side and the east side and the west side here, and then the other main road running through Strongsville, dividing it north and south, is going to be 82. So one of the first things that I look at when I'm just curious about a certain city or even zip code is going to be the average dollar per square foot that houses are typically selling for. So this data, as I mentioned, has been pulled up from my local MLS, and the time frame for this data is going to be the beginning of the year, January 2022, all the way through the current date, which is December 19th. So we are essentially at the end of the year, about 3 weeks into the month of December. All of the results calculated here are actually from any active listings, any under contract listings, so that's going to be contingent or pending, and then sold listings as well. And as you can see, the west side and the east side of Strongsville are actually at the exact same price at $148 per square foot. So no clear winner there, as you can see. But as I go to the amount of sales, so the number of houses that have sold in each zip code, you can actually see that the east side of Strongsville, 44136, does have 30 more sales this year than the west side. So at first, when I was looking at that, I was like, okay, well, that sort of makes sense. The east side of Strongsville has a little more area that it covers, but because I was thinking, okay, it juts out here, and it just seems a little larger. But as you're looking through this, I mean, a large portion of this is going to be the metro parks, essentially. So there's no houses that are sold in that area, and then you also have South Park Mall and a lot of the built up like commercial area here too. So with that being said, not sure why there were more sales this year versus last year. I could go back and look at the data for if that's a consistent theme or not, but I did not do that today. And I'm just looking at the numbers for 2022. So there are 30 more sales on the east side versus the west side. But when you look at the average sale price, that actually is in favor of the west side, where you're looking at an average sale price of $325,000 essentially for the west side versus $310,000 for the east side. So definitely more of the advantage to the west side, and that just goes to show that at least in 2022, the houses that have sold on the west side have been larger than the houses on the east side. And again, that's just going back and using deductive reasoning with them selling at the same dollar per square foot ratio. That's the difference in price, is that $15,000. It's just going to be a larger home that is selling on average this year on the west side of Strongsville. After that, the thing that I wanted to look at was the average days to sell. One quick note for average days to sell: this really should say average days until the agent marks it under contract. As a quick side note, I mean, basically, if you are financing a property, most lenders will say it takes between 30 to 45 days to close. A lot of lenders can close quicker than the 30 days, but they don't like to promise anything quicker than that. So this is really the average days to go under contract, and that's where the east side houses actually narrowly edged out the west side houses at 25 days to go under contract versus 26 days. But you know, for those of you who are thinking that sounds high, if you've been paying attention to the real estate market in Strongsville, Ohio this year, that is high. That those numbers are going to be skewed by listings that have been on the market for 6 months or a year that haven't sold. If you actually look at the median days to sell, which I pulled up right here, this is going to be the very middle point. And basically, you're looking at 9 to 12 days, which again, the advantage is on the east side of Strongsville for that particular home, because this is just one singular home as opposed to the average house as far as how quickly it takes to get under contract. So the other numbers that I did want to look at were actually pulled up from this website, incomebyzipcode.com. To be completely truthful with you, I don't know how accurate these numbers are. They say that it's pretty accurate. That their disclaimer here at the bottom is that all income statistics are the most current comparable income statistics available by the U.S. Census Bureau for 2020, and that they were adjusted for inflation-adjusted dollars back in March of this year. So, yes, it's still going to be a little dated, 9 months old, but we're comparing the same statistics for both zip codes. So that's what we're looking at. Starting here on the west side for 44149. Basically, they said the median household income is at $99,000 and change, and that the average household income is just shy of $120,000. The percentage of households that make over $200,000 a year, so the high income households, it's actually about 13% on the west side of Strongsville for 44149. So comparing those numbers to the east side of Strongsville, which is 44136 right here, you could see that the median household income here is showing to be $81,000. And that's where I thought it was a little odd. And that's why I said, these numbers I can't really vouch for. I could vouch for the MLS numbers. But yeah, these numbers, apparently they're accurate, but this is only the information that I'm relaying to you. So basically, yeah, if you recall, the west side of Strongsville, they said the average household or median household income was $99,000. Here, it's about $81,000, and the average household income for the west side of Strongsville was just shy of $120,000, whereas here it's just shy of $103,000. And then lastly, the same thing as we're going over to household income, high income households. The percentage of households that make over $200,000 a year on the east side of Strongsville is about 8.5%, whereas on the west side of Strongsville it was about 13%. So that is Strongsville by the numbers. I'll let you decide on who won the battle of East versus West. I like this little infographic. If you do have any questions about Strongsville or the Northeast Ohio housing market in general, definitely reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you, or even just talk with you as well. Again, my name's Caleb Barney, and have a great day.